Welcome to Fundamental of GIS, the theories of history of GIS. We start with the beginning. For beginning, I want to talk about is the base map. In 1637, the coordinate system reintroduced in mathematics, analytical geometry. The relationship established between graphed line and equation. So that's how we get our map. We can see that this base map is far from how today's the world map looks like. However, the basic continental in shape, and we get a very basic picture of our world. So this map is Battle of Yorktown, American Revolution, drawn by the French cartographer. His name is Louis Alexandre Bather. This map contained hinged overlays to show troop movements. And another overlaps for the geographic analysis is the mid-19th century atlas to accompany the second report of the Irish Railway Commissioners showed population, traffic, flow, geology, and topography superimposed on the same base map. Move to 1819. A very important map that we should know is the choropleth maps. So as you can see with the different shades, that this catagram, a map with the shading from black to white. So black, gray, and then to white, the distribution and intensity of illiteracy in France. So the black will be the most literate people, and the white one will be the lowest, that people who cannot read. It is very important because it is the first choropleth map and perhaps the first modern statistical map. I think everybody knows this map is created by John Snow. The dot maps in 1855, the use of a dot map to display epidemiological data leads to discovery of the source of cholera epidemic. So John Snow from England. That's the London map. Pictogram in 1884 was used to present data by icons proportional to a number. Michael George, Marshall, England. And we move to talk about computer science, because for cartography is hand drawing, making maps. However, while developing for GI science, we use computer, and it's good to know something about the history of computer science development. And you can see this is the picture of AKA calculating clock. So the first known adding machine. In 1684, the first punch card machine, that developed by Hollywood, and later his company eventually became the IBM. In 1939, description of the mimics the conceptual creation of hyperlink and the World Wide Web by Vannevar Bush. The first computer came. It weighed 5 tons. Mark 1, and it's 50 feet long. Our world's first digital computer, developed in 1944. Harvard Mark 1 and was put in service. Huge machine, as you can tell. Okay, after the computer science, let's talk about geographic information science development. This is the new chapter for GIS science. It's very important. In 1963, the development of Canada Geographic Information System, CGIS, led by Roger Tomlinson. And as we know, he is the father of GIS. So the purpose is to analyze Canada's national inventory. And YouTube has a video that you could, it's very interesting to see the old machines and how GIS worked back that time. There was some controversy about the history of GIS science since parallel developments occurred in North America, Europe, and Australia, at least. Much of the published history focuses on the US contributions. But the one that I put here, the extraction of simple measures, largely drove the development of first real GIS, because the idea that Roger Tomlinson developed is how he wants to manage the data, a system that can store, retrieve the data to analyze and apply to the end users. So the CGIS was planned and developed as a measuring tool, a producer of tabular information rather than as a mapping tool. But in this video, it shows if the end users want some maps, the system could provide some maps. The most useful results of such an inventory are measures of area, yet area is notoriously difficult to measure accurately from a map. But they did inventory their land. So the first GIS was the Canada Geographic Information System, designed in the 1960s. Accurately, it's the mid-1960s as a computerized map measuring system. In Geographic Information System in 1964, back in the United States, the Harvard Laboratory for Computer Graphic and Spatial Analysis was established by Howard Fisher. This lab had major influence on the development of GIS until early 1980s. Many pioneers of newer GIS grew up at the Harvard lab. And the geographic information systems were developed in the 1950s and 1960s, primarily in the public sector. In 1965, development of the GBF DIME files by the U.S. Census Bureau led to the production of the Census Tiger files. So the second burst of innovation occurred in this year of the U.S. Bureau of Census is planning tools that the DIME program Timing Stewart Independent Map Encoding created digital records of all U.S. streets to support automatic referencing and aggregation of census records. Next is the 1966 Howard Fisher developed SYM map, Scenographic Mapping System, a general purpose mapping package. And back on 1969, Ian Hague, in his book Designed with Nature, popularized the use of georeferenced transparent map overlays for source map purpose. If you got time, you could read his book Designed with Nature. And the same year, data formats began to emerge and private vendors began offering GIS packages. And as we know, that Environmental Science Research Institute, ESRI, is founded by Jack and Laura Dangermond as a privately held consulting group. The business began with $1,100 from their personal savings and operated out of an historic home located in Redland, California, and we will talk about later in our series. And Jim Medlock establishes Intergram Corporation, originally called M&S Computing Incorporation. And for remote sensing, the first Landsat 1972 is launched originally from SERTS-1 by NASA that was dedicated to mapping natural and cultural resources on land and ocean surfaces. As you know, that remote sensing also played a part in the development of GIS as a source of technology as well as a source of data.